Yo, what is going on? What is going on? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So I want to go over some news in the Philadelphia Eagles regarding the running back situation, which I think is really interesting. We had some news pop up that I totally missed from the other day. Could it affect this running back group going forward this week against the Cowboys on Sunday? And because of the tight ends right now, the situation, we might get a new look at another Philadelphia Eagle tight end that we traded for that is going to get maybe a big opportunity. So, and really the last thing is the number one thing the Eagles need to do offensively to sustain your offense and to really do a fantastic job, and it's got to be perfect. So let's get into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So we are, less than hours away, really. The countdown has begun until we face the Cowboys tomorrow, and definitely a lot here to really talk over with a couple positions. And obviously the one thing the Eagles need to do offensively to win this football game and to sustain the offense and, keep us balanced at times, which I think is our strong suit that we don't use enough, and we have disappeared at times with it. But I think the number one thing, there was some news that came out yesterday that Boston Scott did take a personal day for a personal matter. And whatever that Boston Scott is going through, I hope everything is okay. And it's not that serious. We don't know what it is, but I hope he is fine. I hope he is good. And family is first before anything at the end of the day. And trust me, I definitely get that. So hopefully everything is fine. And, just got to say, I hope everything's good with him. Now, Boston Scott apparently is officially out. Now, it looks like the rumors are coming out. Zach Berman hasn't been official yet, I don't think. But from Zach Berman, we heard news after the news with Boston Scott. Because now, since Boston Scott is out, who will be your kick returner? I don't know if they're going to be moving up anybody. They could be moving up Rashad Penny. That is the big rumor right now. Zach Berman said that he's most likely to be activated. And let me tell you, it's either he's going to get activated and not play because, now Rashad Penny has done kick returns. I know he did kick returns in college, but hasn't done kick returns since. I don't think of him as a kick return guy at all. So will they move Devin Allen up, or I don't know. But the rumor is Rashad Penny will be active, okay? I'm going to tell you something right now. If Rashad Penny is either going to get activated, not play, get activated, and not even be involved with the running back core and just use DeAndre Swift and Kenneth Gainwell the whole entire time. Boston Scott being out really makes no difference because we're not getting kick returns, number one. And number two, Boston Scott hasn't seen the field in this rotation since... I don't even remember the last time Boston Scott even had a snap at running back or even was in on a play at some point during this season, except earlier in the season. Because to be honest with you, I've absolutely loved, even against the Patriots, I thought it was really nice to see like that 1-2 punch with DeAndre, well, not the second game, sorry, against the Vikings, that 1-2 punch with, DeAndre Swift and Boston Scott. I love that little 1-2 punch they had right there. But if Penny even plays a few snaps, I'm not saying that Penny has to play a crap ton of snaps. I mean, he could play like not even 10 snaps and I'll be happy. Like if they actually use him for like third and short, or if they use him for red zone from 20 to the goal line, I will be a pig in shit so happy. I will fucking celebrate everything. Okay, I will throw a party in my house all by myself with a Rashad Penny jersey ordered from NFL Shop. Okay, that's how serious it is right now. And I just want an opportunity. The thing is, like, this isn't a normal opportunity. So now it's like, because Boston Scott is out, they're going to activate him. And what if Rashad Penny plays only because Boston Scott is out? What if they play him, Boston Scott is out, and they could just shelf him the next week? I don't get why. Number one, how does Rashad Penny feel about this whole thing? Like, he sat at the desk, his big, he's brawling. He's sitting at the podium. He's like, I'm gonna run behind this offensive line. I'm excited, and all of a sudden he gets like barely any snaps. He doesn't even play. Period. So how is he feeling? This guy's supposed to be working for another contract for himself going into next year. He won't be a Philadelphia Eagle after this year. So what is he really working for? The Eagles are really not putting him in a position right now to earn another contract or to help his career out, to revive his career a little bit. He only played 5 games last year, okay? I don't think it's a lingering injury. I think what Diana Russini said a week or two ago when she was first talking about the Eagles going after a top-tier shelf safety, that, there was some rumors that, maybe teams were calling on Rashad Penny to see what was going on, and it was reported that from Diana Russini that the Eagles are going to keep him and for a postseason run. What does that mean? You're going to throw him into a playoff game with no hits, this guy needs to get hit a little bit, okay? You guys can't be treat him like a delicate piece of glass. We need to put him in games, let him get hit a little bit, because as much as I've said this a million times over and over again, it's going to be that moment. It's going to be a playoff game. It's going to be 3rd and short. And then the Eagles are going to put in Rashad Penny on the most random moment. First snap of the year. They snap the ball to him. They hand the ball off, and he fumbles the ball. That's what I'm waiting for later on, when it's going to be a crucial moment. They switch backs to a back that hasn't played a snap. Oh, like I said, Rashad Penny has had some snaps this year, but because DeAndre Swift was tired in the Vikings game, he got a couple snaps. The Tampa game, I know he had a couple snaps, I think on protection purposes. But they haven't done a thing with him. Boston Scott being out makes no difference, okay? If they play him, I'm still going to be upset. I'll be happy but upset, because even if they play him because Boston Scott is out, or activate him and just say they do put him in for a few snaps, this is the only reason why that you're playing him, because Boston Scott is out, even though Boston Scott doesn't get any snaps either. So I can't see that even if he does get activated, I don't see a change that he's actually going to do much of anything. And I wish I was wrong. And I hope I'm wrong come Sunday, where he's going to get activated. We're all going to get excited before the game. Oh, my God, tomorrow we're going to hear that Rashad Penny's activated. Get all excited. And then he just sits on the sideline the whole entire time. That's the shit that I just can't stand. I'm not going to be able to deal with it too much. And that's all I got to say about that situation. So prayers up for Boston Scott, whatever's going on in his life. Hopefully it's not serious. I hope everything's good. But Rashad Penny, man, God, man, he's begging to play. Just play him. It's not early. You're heading into the second half of your season now. You're going to go into a bye week after this game on Sunday. And, you guys need to start preparing what you're doing with this guy to waste a roster spot. And there were times where, he doesn't feel good. He was off the roster. He doesn't feel good, whatever. Bullshit, he doesn't feel good. Them guys need to fill in another position because of injuries to another position. He's a healthy scratch most of the time. When they say he doesn't feel good, he's not playing in the game, is a bunch of BS. So we'd love him to play, but we'll see what happens. I've been ranting about this for weeks, and I'm tired of it. Now, the number one thing that the Eagles have to get right, okay, the number one thing offensively that needs to be continuance, okay, because DeAndre Swift is the key to victory. As much as we could talk about A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and the rest of these guys, DeAndre Swift is the key to victory here. You go through a Jets game where if you run him 4 times in the first half, or another thing that how the Eagles are treating these receivers is they'll give DeAndre Swift 1 quarter, and then they'll give Gainwell a 2nd quarter. That shit I can't stand, dude. Be more situational with these guys. Stop treating them like they're just you could just, you're acting as if Kenny G and Swift are the same player, and you could just put them in at any quarter and not give a crap about either one of them. Okay, DeAndre Swift is dynamic. You win the game by playing DeAndre Swift, no doubt. If they run 4 times if they run him 4 times in the first half, and Gainwell has more snaps and is doing absolutely nothing, we're losing this game. There's no doubt. Another thing that they do that pisses me off is that when DeAndre Swift, here's the thing. The good thing is they put him in the passing game, which is great. I have no issue with that. The one thing I like about BrianJohnson, what he does with Swift, is they allow him to be another wide out, which the checkdowns, he makes the first guy, second guy miss in an open space. DeAndre Swift is just Jesus. He's just he cuts on a dime at 100% and can maintain his speed. And I'm waiting for that moment. He's still one of the best backs this year. I understand you need to keep him healthy. I understand that. Another thing that pisses me off is when when DeAndre Swift gets like 2 yards, like he'll run the ball and only get 2 yards rushing on that one drive, okay, or not the one play, he'll get like a 2-yard gain. They stray away from him, and then they just like forget about him for like 3-4 series later. That shit I can't stand either. That's the second thing that pisses me off. I'm trying to really think about a third thing that really pisses me off, but there's really nothing much else. Not expecting him to get 20 plus carries. But if it's working, keep the hot hand in the game. DeAndre Swift is getting some snaps this year, but there are some games where he's doing just enough to where the Eagles don't have to give the ball to him 17 to 20 something times a game, and that's perfectly fine if is producing well. But on specifics, when it comes to if you're not using Rashad Penny, keep Swift in red zone. Do the smart things with him. The end around like brotherly shove play, that was fantastic. Love that. The brotherly shove sweep was a great play because if you can get that ball handed off to Swift and he's got the edge and there's no containment, he's gone. There's no catching of DeAndre Swift, okay? His statistics would look a lot better this year, but, don't turn this into a game where Swift has 4 carries in the first half and then you give, Kenneth Gainwell 10 snaps for like 14 yards. It's going to really piss me off going into this game. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping it's a different story going into all of that. So we'll see what happens. But we can talk about A.J. Brown getting big catches, Devontae Smith finally having a bigger day than A.J. Brown, the tight ends, whatever the case may be. But the run game needs to happen. We have got to. You could run on this team. You could 100% run on the Cowboys. Okay, compared to the Eagles running backs to what Dallas has in the back end at running back. They were the number one team, okay? The number one rushing team, the number one defense against the rush. We are just unstoppable. And if they and I feel like there's more juice flowing. Like when DeAndre Swift gets a big run, he's flexing and the whole offense just changes. The passing game just widens out more. I feel like there's more balance. I feel like the offense just feels more exciting and the players get more excitement out of Swift just making himself look good on these runs, and running tough as well, and that's what I really like about Swift. With Gainwell, I feel like it's just dead water. I feel like it's nothing. I feel like it's dead weight when he runs with the ball, and it doesn't really excite the offense with Swift. And I understand you got to keep him healthy. I understand you can't give him a lot of snaps. I get it, but they have to make some sacrifices where if Swift has to get some extra carries this week for a very important game, fucking give it to him. Stop playing the cautious game. Stop playing the analytics game on, DeAndre Swift will play the first quarter, and then Kenneth Gainwell will play the second quarter. Like, I hate this shit every single week, okay? But that's all I got to say about the situation. Number one running back in Philadelphia is DeAndre Swift. Should be using him a lot more than just the passing game. Got to have him as a running back as well. So, and the last thing I want to talk about is since Grant Calcaterra is out, I think for a second week with this concussion, man. Now, Grant Calcaterra was played with Jalen Hurts in Oklahoma, and he actually went to, I think, SMU, if I'm not mistaken. He had a lot of issues with concussions even back in college. So it looks like Albert O might be getting a shot to be activated this week, or at least for this game tomorrow. Okay, Albert O, the Eagles traded for him during free agency, and he was, he wouldn't have lasted through the waiver wire. The Eagles gave up I forgot what the trade was. I think they gave up like a 7th round pick or something like that for 20. I forgot what it was. But Albert O, the Eagles kept 4 tight ends this year, which they never do. Okay. I think part of it was, there's just a lot of talent there, and you got to keep all the talent. They kept 7 corners, 4 running backs, and 4 tight ends. They're never keeping 4 tight ends, ever. This will be the last year that they do this. Now, I think by the time next offseason comes, Albert O runs a 4.49. He's an acrobatic catcher. He was with the Denver Broncos. I think Albert O is the real deal when he gets his chance. I think when he finally gets his chance, he is going to be amazing. I think, even with Dallas Goedert, living off his contract right now, I think Albert O could be a pure starter in this league if they actually play him and really, because he's an acrobatic catcher. He gets separation. He's probably the fastest tight end Okay. Now, Jack Stahl is a good tight end for us because they really value Stahl a lot because his blocking is like very good, but he's a big body with reliable hands. And I think Calcaterra will be the odd man out come next year. He's been injured way too much. The other guy's been injured and has had multiple concussions. I think he's had a couple concussions already the past couple seasons. So Calcaterra is another one that I really do like, and I think is a fast tight end, one of the faster ones we have. But I think you get a big balance here with Albert O. You traded for him for a specific reason. I think he's a big gem. We were the last, we won the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, I wish we lost the Super Bowl last year. So the Eagles were like dead last on the waiver wire. So if Albert O went through the waiver wire, the Eagles wouldn't be able to get him. So they ended up trading for him, which is great for Denver because, damn, if we were going to put him on the waiver wire regardless, screw it. We can get draft picks because a team really needs him. That's a great thing. So, I'm not saying he's going to do good or big numbers on Sunday. He might get activated. How many chances will he have? But he might have an opportunity when Goddard, and depending on the package, depending if they want to move him in there. They did some work with him this week. I think Albert O has a bright future with the Eagles. We haven't seen anything yet from him, but I think good things are happening. You don't trade for a guy like this just because. Like, you trade for a guy like this because you see something. I think when it comes to contested catching, he's fantastic. He gets separation. He could do it all. He could do it all. He had a great offseason with the Denver Broncos. He was a beast for the preseason games this past offseason. So expect a lot here going forward. And if he starts to make some noise, because like I said, I think theoretically, this could be your future starting tight end if the Eagles don't want to re-sign Dallas Goedert again or something. I mean, who knows? I could be wrong or have him as a number 2 behind Goddard. I think he will be the number 2 behind Goddard sooner or later. But I think Calcaterra will be the odd man out come next year. So Albert O looks like the rumors are he will be activated on Sunday, and we'll see what happens. So that's all the news I have for the day, guys. Let me know what you guys think about, obviously, Boston Scott. We're with Rashad Penny, what are they going to do if they activate him? Will he actually play? Because Boston Scott's not even involved whatsoever. And whatever Boston Scott's dealing with, I do hope everything is okay with him. Family first at the end of the day, or anything else is first at the end of the day. So I get it. You guys have a fantastic day. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes about follow. Peace out, guys. Peace.